It was one of the coldest winters ever to be recorded, and there were a lot of animals that unfortunately could not survive the freezing temperatures. There is this one group of hedgehogs, though, that determined that if they wanted to survive, they were going to come together and bundle themselves up into a tight-knit ball in order to produce enough body heat to sustain them throughout that winter. So as they all came together, little by little, the body heat was incredible. But after a little bit of time, they started realizing that they were getting poked and pricked and prodded by each and every one of the other's quills. Every one of the other quills kept stabbing them in a way as to where it became so annoying and so frustrating, and just to the point as to where they could not take it anymore. So one hedgehog at a time started to fall away from the group. And they went off, and as they tried to endure and make it past the cold weather, they ended up passing away. And little by little, each hedgehog decided it was enough for them to not want to be a part of the group. And little by little, each one continually took off, and each one passed away. The last remaining few that ended up separating, as they were out there freezing, they realized that this wasn't worth it, that they needed one another, and they needed to do what they could to be able to make it. Otherwise, what was the point? So they all bundled themselves back together, and they ended up enduring and dealing with those little pokes and prods as to where they went through the entire winter and survived. Now think of this story within itself. Every one of us as a team or a family or even as friends, we all have little things that we do or little things that annoy us, or our own little quills that poke and prod and get to other people in a way as to where it can tear us apart so fast and so quick. But what we don't realize is that if we don't find healthier ways to be able to stand together and to be able to endure some of those pokes or some of those irritations, or how to healthily talk through some of these annoyances, it will inevitably separate us to the point as to where we're not going to be able to make it, or we're not going to go as far as we could if we were together. As teams or as families or as individuals, we all need to be able to find healthier ways to be able to talk through different things and to inevitably deal with the pokes and quills, and not to let the little things build up to the point as to where it gets to where we separate. That choice is on each and every one of us as to what we do with those pokes and how we deal with